Hello, 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 and welcome everybody to Renewed Mind Revolution podcast with your host, Michelle Cook Hall. As always, it is my honor and my pleasure to be able to come and share some tips and tools that I know will help you and assist you in becoming a better you. And what's awesome about that is that when I am helping you, I am helping myself. That's right. When I extend my hand out to you to pull you up and encourage you and empower you, I'm doing the same for myself. So what an honor and pleasure it is to be able to do that. This podcast is here for you, to help you, to teach you that you can always click that reset button, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Start all over again. That means you do not have to stay in the place that you are. If you made many poor choices and found yourself in a bad situation, you found yourself stuck in a place of addiction, a place of depression, a place of panic and anxiety, stress and overwhelming, and thoughts that is just running rapid. Well, you have found the perfect podcast for yourself. This podcast deals with individuals who face those situations every day. And we're talking 10, 15, 20 years. And this is how long these situations can go on. But this podcast teaches how you can come out from that place. And the first thing we do is we let you know that you deserve it. Come on. You deserve it. You deserve a better life. You deserve to have a quality of life. You deserve to come out of autopilot and survival mode and begin to live and thrive. So we're going to talk about some good things today. And I was questioning, what could I share with you guys today? We talk about so much, and it's been my honor. It's been awesome. It's been just outstanding to be able to come weekly. I've been doing this for a little while, weekly with you guys, and share some good information. And I know that it's good because you guys respond to me, let me know that you are enjoying it and that you're getting good information from it. So I'm very, very happy about that. So I was questioning, what can I talk about today? And we're going to talk about pride. We're going to talk about pride today because pride plays a huge part in a lot of things that we go through, even with asking for help. When we need help, sometimes pride keeps us from getting the help that we need. A lot of times when people are dealing with anxiety, they are afraid of what they look like to other people around them, how they're coming across. And so a lot of that is prideful, trying to control an environment, trying to control a situation. This is very prideful. And so I speak from a place of love and experience. So understand that when I come to you, it's never in a sense of judgment. Trust me, I'm in no place to judge. I've been there, done that, so I get it. So I always come to you from a place of love and a place of experience so that you can better receive what I am saying. When I tell you, I understand. So we're going to talk about pride today. Before we get started, I want to share some basic information about this podcast. This podcast is now available, thank the Lord, on Pandora, on iHeartRadio, and Spotify. So if you're not able to get to one outlet, you can get to another. And I'm so grateful for that. So please, ladies and gentlemen, remember to share. In order for me to continue to share this information, I do need your support. I need you to let me know that you are receiving good information here. I need your feedback. I need you to share this with other people. So go ahead and do that. Let's not just keep it all to ourselves, but we believe in sharing here on this podcast, sharing with one another. So that's very important that you share this information. Also, a lot of the information that we share here on this podcast can be found in the books that I have written and it's published. These books are found on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, or if you want to reach out to me personally and get an autographed copy of the books, please do so. And I will try my very best to respond to you. Okay. So these books are entitled Faith versus Fear, Breaking Family Ties. We also have The Crowd that is out. The Crowd. So listen, we have some good information for you. Good information. There's so much information that is shared out in the world that is negative, that is just is garbage. Come on, let's be honest. A lot of garbage being shared out. Let's share something positive. Let's share something good. It's amazing to me how I can see something good on the internet or social media and that don't get any love or support or share. But then I can see some, nonsense, some mess, some drama, some violence, some, just stuff that's just not productive get shared all through social media. So let's share something positive instead of something always negative. We are quick to receive the negative, and we're very hesitant to receive and share positive. So let's change that. That's a part of our renewed mind, right? A renewed mind. So let's get started. I'm going to start talking about pride. Okay. The spirit of pride, according to the book of Proverbs, comes before being destroyed, and a proud spirit comes before a fall. Okay, let me just say that again to you. I'm quoting this for you today. I want you to get this into your hearts, your minds, and your spirits today. The spirit of pride, according to the book of Proverbs, okay, it comes before being destroyed, and a proud spirit comes before a fall. It is important to not allow pride to keep you from being free. And so, as I stated earlier, a lot of times we don't see the prison of pride, but the prison of pride exists. Come on. This is going to be good, you guys. This is going to be good. It won't be long, but it's going to be good. I promise that for you. We don't see the prison of pride, but pride is a prison for many, many, many people. We're not talking about having dignity. We're not talking about having character. We're talking about having pride. And so pride for many people can be a prison. As I stated, a lot of individuals who deals with anxiety, okay, one of the things is concerned about how you look, how you're coming across, worried about if they're looking at you, worried about how they are receiving you, okay, worried about every little detail of things that you think that you can control when you can't, even sickness, okay. A lot of things happen that is beyond our control. It's nothing that we've done. It's nothing, we didn't eat bad, we didn't live bad, we didn't do anything. It just happened. And we can begin to have anxiety because we're trying to control sickness. We're trying to control grief. If somebody leaves out of our lives that we love and care about, we can't change that. There's nothing that we could have done to stop it. But we're trying to control it. And that's very prideful to think that you can control something that is out of your control. Some things just happen, and it becomes a prison because it doesn't just stay in one area. It starts hitting other areas of your life. When things start going wrong, when you used to just taking charge and dealing with everything, you begin to overexert yourself to try to put out all the fires. And I did a teaching on that before with some beautiful young ladies because I wanted to teach about the power of saying no. Understand that we cannot control everything. Understand that we cannot put out everybody's fire. People come to you when they know that you get the job done, and they come to you and they begin to say, oh, this is happening for me. This is going on with me. Can you help? Can you help? Can you help? And a lot of times in our good nature, we want to help. We want to be of assistance, especially when we know that we can get the job done. But it gets to a point where you've given out so much of yourself, putting out everybody else's fire, that when it comes time for your own, you have nothing left. Come on. You can overexert yourself and you have nothing left for yourself because you've given it out to everybody. Okay? And this is real. This is real. Once again, I talk from a place of experience. This is real. Where you can overexert yourself, stress yourself out, thinking that you can handle everybody else's problems, everybody else's situations, everybody else's fires, and you have nothing left for yourself. And so at the age that I am now, I have learned to say that your fire is not my fire. Your emergency is not my emergency. Like, I can't make that all the time. Certain things you do, you get up and you handle what you have to handle and you do what you need to do. But there are certain situations where you're going to have to pull back and say, I'm so sorry, but your emergency is not my emergency. I cannot just overextend and stretch myself to the point where I have nothing left. That's very arrogant of me and very, very, very irresponsible of me to think that I can handle everybody's, issues and problems on my shoulders. Come on, somebody. I know it sounds like it shouldn't be that way, but this is the reality because we're human. We're human beings, and we're designed and created to take so much. And then the reality of it is, let me be really honest with you. Once you have given up everything of yourself for other people and being there for everything that they need and everything that they want, you're left in a place where you're exhausted. You have nothing left. They're not coming to your aid the way you were there for them. Now, we don't do things looking for people to come back to us. We do things because it's the right thing to do. We don't do that. We treat others the way that we will want them to treat us. They're not guaranteed to do that. They're not guaranteed to treat you the way that you treat them. That's just not going to happen. Okay, but we're not supposed to think of a payback when we do for others. But the reality of it is, once you have given so much of yourself, and if you try to wait for someone to come to your aid the way you were there for them, a lot of times you're going to be so hurt, so disappointed, so broken, so lost. Okay, so that's why we have to use wisdom in how we operate, the things that we do. Okay, I truly believe that pride plays a huge part in fear and anxiety. Okay, this is me talking. I really feel that it does. Let me explain this to you. Okay, we live in a superficial society. Where you live, the car you drive, the career you have, all are extremely important factors in determining the success of a person. We know this. We see this every day. The comparison between other people, where you live, where you drive, where you went to school, what kind of career that you have, what kind of talents that you have. It's a constant comparison. Okay? Even in our churches. Come on. I'm gonna throw it out there today. I'm gonna do it. Even in our churches today, there are too many comparisons. This church is better because it offers more programs. This church has a newer facility, have more facilities, have multiple locations, and therefore is considered a better church. This church has an awesome band with some of the best musicians in the city or the state or even the world. They are the best church ever because of that. They have albums. They have a recording studios. They have their own recording company. Come on. How many times have you ever heard this? Well, this church brings in the best illustrations to convey their sermons. I mean, they have all this life-size illustrations that bring you into the message. So truly, this must be the best church, right? Some people might say this church has a rock concert every Sunday, so therefore this is the best church. They have the lights, the sounds, the smoke machine. The place is filled with energy. The people are involved. The people are participating into the service. They're loving it. This must be the best church ever. This is what we say. This is what I've heard over and over and over and over again. This is a real conversation among real believers, real Christians. This is the conversations that I have heard, that I have sat in, that I have heard around my head. Okay? These are real conversations. And it is the saddest thing I've ever experienced. That what's even sadder to me is it is rare to hear the spiritual leaders of these churches crush this form of pride. It's rare for me to hear that leader say, listen, none of that matters. None of that is important. Let's not do this. Oftentimes, I've seen the spiritual leaders participate in this, glamorizing it, making it like it's a sport. You're rooting for and cheering for your best team versus just like rooting for your best church. They participate in it versus pulling it down. And it seems harmless, and it could come across just harmless fun. But let's look at a system that uses the exact same dialogue and promotes having pride. Come on, let's give a good example of this. When I was in high school many years ago, not that long, ladies and gentlemen, but many years ago when I was in high school, we often compare our school to other schools and made it very clear that our school was better. What is this called? This is called what? School pride. Come on, y'all heard of this? School pride. Where you say your school is better than that other school. Your track team is better than that other school track team. Your football team is better. Your cheerleading team is better. Your basketball, we make cheers based upon saying that my school is better than your school. And listen, this is not hidden. This is something that actually says I have school pride. Okay, I have school pride. So this is a positive, right? Because you're pretty much boasting on your school, on your team, on your cheerleading team, your dancers, whatever. You have school pride. Okay, we competed with other schools and took an instant dislike to our competitors. In order for you to have school pride, you're not in support of the other school. You're not. You're actually in a position of saying, I don't like this other school. You might not know anything about that school except that they're your competitors. Okay? That's the school pride. We have pride in our schools, and we're willing to defend it by any means. Right? People have had physical altercations because of school pride. Am I right? How many times have you seen on the news, or you've been there yourself at a school sport and watched the schools begin to have a physical altercation because of what? School pride. At games, on campuses, at malls, fights have occurred due to what? School pride. This is the exact same type of pride that we see today in our churches. Okay, the appearance of being holy and spiritual now supersedes the authentic deliverance needed in the body of Christ. Christians are afraid to seek help when they're experiencing spiritual pain. Instead, they suffer in silence, leaking residue of an unhealthy life. Come on. Pride. They don't feel comfortable to say, listen, I'm going through something. They don't feel comfortable coming and saying, listen, I'm hurting. I'm having thoughts that are all over the place. I can't sleep at night. Because what? Because someone is going to make them feel like they're not strong enough. Somebody's going to make them feel like they don't have faith. Somebody's going to make them feel like they don't know God. They don't have a good relationship with God. Because how can they be experiencing something like this? Come on. And this is all untruth. If someone has ever told you when you've come to them, that you don't have a good relationship with God because you're going through some struggles and some fears and some anxieties and some pressures and feeling overwhelmed, then they're lying to you. They are lying to you. We are all tried in our lives. We are all tempted in our lives. We are all going to face some struggles and some pain and some hurt that's going to put you in a position where you can feel overwhelmed, that you can feel like you are struggling to keep your head above water. But it does not mean that you do not have a relationship with God. It does not mean that he has left you. It does not mean that he doesn't love you. It doesn't mean that you're not strong. It does not mean that you do not have faith. None of these things are factual. None of them. Okay? None of them. But because of pride, you see people who are literally suffering in silence in the churches. They're leaking residue of an unhealthy life. They are bleeding spiritually, just in pain and anguish and hurt, but they want to look strong. They want to look like they have it all together. They want to look like they have the answers. They want to look like they are deep and prophetic and all these wonderful things, but they are struggling. They are hurt. They are in pain. And they're afraid to show it because of pride. The church has made it very difficult for Christians to receive the emotional and mental health services that they need by stigmatizing these struggles. I've heard things from spiritual leaders about individuals who struggle with emotional and mental health issues, and it's so disturbing to me. It's so disturbing and it's heartbreaking to me. And I do not agree with it at all. I do not agree with it at all. But this is what not all churches, but some churches have made it like for individuals in the church. They're ashamed and they would rather suffer in silence and be broken and be hurt. And that's not the life that God designed for you or for me. He never designed for us to just exist and to be in pain and to be sad and to hurt all the time, 24/7, wake up hurt and go to bed hurt and get no answer, get no resolution. And you run to a spiritual leader and all they do is make you feel worse than when you first walked into their presence. Come on. This is not what God intended for you or for me. If a person in the ministry is struggling with cancer, they go to the elders of the church, right? And without hesitation, compassion is shown and prayers are sent up, okay? But if a person in the ministry is struggling with depression, it is very likely, okay, I've seen it, that they will be told that they're not doing right, or they should be doing something to prevent this emotional state of mind. Scriptures will be thrown at them regarding resisting the enemy and being a soldier in the army of God. The church's approach is totally different, even though the enemy is the same. The battlefield may be different. One is the mind, one is the body, but the battle is the same. Can I say that again? I have not hollered out at you guys. Sticky note time, but this would be definitely a sticky note moment. Okay? The battlefield may be different, but the battle is the same. The battle is not yours, it's the Lord's. Okay? So what I'm saying is, in one case, somebody might be struggling with the mental state. But it's a battlefield. It's just a different battlefield. It's a different setting. And one might be struggling in their physical body, right? From sickness, right? Or disease or affliction, right? Still a battlefield, just a different battle. Come on. Why can't we see that? Why can't we acknowledge that? You know, the teaching that I always grew up with was the battlefield of the mind. Is where the enemy always goes for. Because if he gets your mind, then the rest it goes downhill. I mean, when a person's physically sick, if their mind is strong, they push through, they persevere, they overcome. But if the enemy gets your mind, you could have been healthy in your body, but your body become ailing, become sick and afflicted based upon what's going on in your head. He knows what he's doing. And so the church the church needs to acknowledge that and understand and remember that that battlefield is the mind. It is the mind, because it might be a different setting, but it's still a battle. But let me encourage you with the last words that I did just say. The battle is not yours. It is the Lord's. Okay. So although you are fighting this battle, or you're standing in this battle, you are participating in this battle, let me remind you again that the fight that you and I fight is a fixed fight. Okay. It means that you and I have already received the victory. We might not always step into our victory. We might not always receive the victory manifested in the timely manner that we would want it to be. But understand that in regards to whatever you're going through, whatever I'm going through, whatever we are going through, you are victorious. Remember that you are victorious. Greater is he that is in you, that is in me, that is in the world. God is greater. He is stronger than any opponent that you and I will ever face. And he has seen it all. He knows all. And it's us. It's me and you that have to position ourselves in a position of victory. And that can be very challenging. I don't say hard, and I don't say impossible, because with Christ all things are possible. But I'm going to be honest and tell you that it can be so challenging to go against everything that you think you know. Okay? Think you know, because we're thinking in the flesh. We're thinking of what we can see with our senses, right? What we can see, what we can hear, what we can feel. You know, we're going by our senses. But it takes faith to position yourself where, despite what you feel like, despite what you're going through, despite the opposition, you are still maintaining the posture of victory. Come on, somebody. I want you today to say, regardless to what's coming my way, regardless to whatever battle field I find myself on, I am positioning myself in victory. Oh, come on. I can do this because God has already promised me an outcome. Come on. You might not see it. You might not know how long or anything like that, but you know it's coming. So that's the thing, is waiting on knowing that it is coming. It don't feel good while you're going through it. It's hard on your senses while you're going through it. It's a struggle on your senses while you're going through it. But you know the promises of God, which states that you will overcome. Okay, and understand that he is not trying to kill you or destroy you or break you apart, but God is allowing things to come into your life and my life to develop us, to build up our character, to make us strong. Come on, because there's so much more that you have to do. There's so much more that I have to do. So you have to maintain your position. Okay, and maintain your position in victory. I don't want you to think that this is it. You know, I can't take another day. I can't handle one more moment. I don't want you to think that. I want you to maintain victory. Okay, it hurts. Okay, this is too much. I get it. I hear you. But I still want you to maintain your position in victory. No, but you might say, but you don't understand what I'm going through. This has been going on for a long time and I can't take anymore. But I still want you to maintain your position in victory. Come on. I want you just to keep saying over yourself, come on, I got the victory. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care what it feels like. I'm going to believe God. And I'm going to hold on to my victory. Listen, you guys, God bless you guys. It has been a great day. And I'm so excited that I was able to come on this week and share some tips and some tools that will help you to becoming a better you. We talked about pride, and we know now that we're not going to live in a prison of pride. Have an outstanding day. God bless you guys. Look forward to chit-chatting with you soon. Bye-bye.